last two guys thought we were going to get. Like they were pointing at all signs of Clemson. So we've taken a step. Now the next step is to get one of those guys. So we got to continue. We think that's the next step as a program, is to land one of those high-level type guys.
People who cover this program point to C.J. Spiller as kind of being that guy for Dabo, and it opening up the floodgates. Do you think that will happen, that once you grab that C.J. Spiller kind of guy, that it will open up everything for you, or begin to?
I think it will. I think, all guys want to play in the NBA. And so we've got to land one of those type guys and show them that you can do it right here from Clemson. And when people recruit against you, that's their whole sales pitch is Clemson hadn't had a guy like you. They don't know how to manage a guy like you. So that's the negative recruiting, so to speak, from other people. So we've just got to figure out a way to get one of those guys to buy in and believe in it. And then we've got to make sure they have a successful career and they are able to accomplish what they were trying to accomplish right here from Clemson.
Have you got an example of how being in the tournament has opened a door for you, or maybe gotten you guys in somewhere where you hadn't been before?
Well, now a prime example, we're recruiting a kid, and a kid has a lot of different schools recruiting him. And his AAU coach basically said, hey, coach, this school is out because we don't know if they're going to be successful. The schools that are recruiting this kid have been you guys, and named a couple other schools that said, all of you guys are successful, been in the tournament, looks like you're going to be in the tournament again, your top 25 programs. So, we're getting in places that we haven't been and kind of out of our area a little bit, which is different for us.
How do you put together a plan to say, okay, we've made the tournament, but now how do we keep this run of success going and not fall back to an 8 or a 10 win season, but just kind of keep this building?
Well, obviously you got to keep getting good players and keep developing the ones that you have. So we think we've got a chance to have a good year this year. We like the guys that are behind those guys as well. We probably need to get 1 or 2 more guys to solidify. I'm not talking about this year, but the following year. But, just sustained success, and that'll show people that, it wasn't just one season or you up and now maybe the next one you're not as good. So I think that resonates with people.
What are your numbers looking like for this class and then the next one as far as number of takes?
Well, we've gotten a commitment right now. We're looking to take 2 more guys in this class at least. We will have another scholarship that we probably can hold to the next class because we only got 1 in the 20 class. And speaking of those type guys, in 20, we're saying, hey, we only got 1 scholarship in 20. Let's go after one of these guys again and see if we can get in there and get down the road and just throw everything at them. It's only 1. Now, how I think we may have 2, but right now that's our plan. It's just getting 3 in this class, maybe 4. Then we can take 1 in the next class, maybe 2, but try to hit a home run. Try to go after another high-level guy that's a program changer.
Coach, how have your guys responded to the earlier practice schedule that they've had this year?
Actually, it's been good. It's been a little bit different because, obviously it used to be we were just getting into practice, just getting started, but with NCAA rule changes, we've been practicing some throughout the summer with additional hours. So we've been able to have full practices and your full team in there. So it's not as new as it is coming into it, but guys have been really good. I think the energy in practice has been great. The older guys, having a veteran group of guys with 4 seniors that are all experienced guys. They've taken on leadership and ownership of the team. So I think that's really, really helped the younger guys to see and have somebody in front of them as examples and good leadership.
Do you think that the success that the team had last year has kind of given them reason or motivation to, hey, let's keep this going in the offseason, work even harder?
I think it definitely has. And one of the things that we've told them is, hey, what do you want your legacy to be? You had a couple seniors last year with Dante, Gabe, and Mark. And so that team kind of was those guys' team. Now, you guys did a great job, but now this is what you guys are going to be judged off. And I think, so these guys have worked really hard to try to have that same type of success this year.
You mentioned earlier in the recruiting process, a lot of schools use the way you manage a player against you. What does that entail, managing a player?
Well, just how do you deal with him as far as setting him up for the next level, setting him up to get drafted? You know, if you look around some of these other programs, some of these higher, you know, blue blood programs, so to speak, they have pro days, and so they've got NBA teams coming in, and so that's a selling point for some of the other teams. It's like, okay, we do this type of stuff. What does Clemson do to help you get there? So, you know, just things like that.
How difficult has the NCAA rule change as far as the NBA draft? It seems like it keeps getting later and later. Now players can wait all the way until the draft is over before they decide. How difficult does that make your life as coaches, just from a preparation standpoint with your personnel?
Yeah, well, obviously it's new, so we hadn't went through it yet. It'll be, something a new experience for a lot of different programs. But it will be challenging because now you've got to build your roster with a little bit of the unknown. There may be a guy that tests the waters that he can go all the way through the process and test the water, but you got to hold a scholarship. You know, if in case the guy comes back, so you may miss out on a good player. So it's a lot of unknowns. It's new territory for, everybody, not just us.
You've had a lot of success in the past with transfers coming in. Do you